Hey, happy spooky season. Spooky season. I have a confession. I don't actually like Halloween as an adult. I know, blasphemous as a costumer, that is blasphemous. As a kid, I loved Halloween. What do you mean I get a day where I can dress up in whatever the heck I want and I get free candy? Like, what magical holiday is this? As an adult, if you want to get dressed up, you kind of have to go to a place where there's alcohol being consumed. And I don't really like the whole bar scene. I don't like to get drunk. I don't really like to even drink alcohol. Or I could stay home and give out candy to kids, but everywhere I've lived so far, there hasn't really been trick-or-treaters. I also don't like to be scared. I hate scary movies. So Halloween as an adult just, it's not the same. This is the first of 3 Halloween themed videos I am doing this year, despite my sadness about Halloween as an adult. We're gonna make it fun. This dress is inspired by this Hedy Lamarr costume and this dress from Dressed in Time. Her Instagram is below. I highly recommend you checking her out. She is amazing. So I knew I wanted to do some kind of sheer overlay Halloween themed dress, but I wasn't quite too sure what the motif would be, whether it be spiders or pumpkins. But then I found this constellation netting and I fell in love. It is perfect. I think it works perfect for Halloween, but it will also work great as a nice evening dress for, like, say, New Year's or something. For the slip, I'm using this black rayon. It's a stiffer rayon than I'm used to getting at, say, Joann's. I really hate the rayon that Joann's has. I just have never had any luck using it, but it feels nice, and it actually feels closer to the rayon I feel in, say, 80s dresses. Shh, this is a secret project for next month. I'm using this dress again for the overlay, but this time I'm not going to use the ruffles, and I'm going to add sleeves, but I didn't like these sleeves, so instead I'm using these 3/4 sleeves, which is annoyingly labeled A on the front, but is actually C. I didn't film any of the cutting out process because this netting was just, it didn't want to work with me. I will insert a dramatization here. I'm trying out tailor's tacks for the first time. I'm not confident these are going to stay in the fabric for very long, but I couldn't figure out another way to mark them. What I've done for the slip is I have taken 1¼ inch out from the waistline, because if you saw my bell video, you would know that this ended up being way long in the waist for me. So I went ahead and took that out there, so hopefully it'll fit better. And then I've gone ahead and added 1/4 inch all around on the seam allowances because I don't really want to have a closure in this. I'm hoping that the extra inch on each piece will allow me to just pull that over my head. We'll see. Well, the slip is almost done. It's amazing what you can do when you're not fighting against fraying seams. I think this is actually going to come together really quickly, especially since I'm not adding closures on either dress. Really all I need to do is cut out the bias tape for the facing, and then of course add the shoulder straps, and then of course hem it, but I'm going to do that later after I finish the outer dress. And yeah, I can't see this taking too much longer.
Whew! That back is low.
Well, my experiment didn't work. Luckily, since I just added 1/4 inch everywhere, I just need to take it in. And hopefully it still fits over my head, but this is not gonna work. Let's get to seam ripping. Well, I'm back where I was at the beginning of last night. Everything I did yesterday had to be unpicked. But you know what? I treat sewing as one big science experiment, and sometimes your hypothesis works and sometimes it doesn't. It's easily fixable. I'm just gonna start taking in these seams. Well, I was trying it on with all the seams taken in. because I was so determined not to add a closure, I tore the back of the dress. You know what the back was missing? A dart at the V. Just right here. That's what this needed. It just needs a dart right there. That's what it's gonna have anyway. Just add the dang closure, Sam. Why are you so determined to just have this slip over your head? Was it worth it? Half a day later, and I'm almost back to where I was yesterday. I still have some handwork to do on the slip, but I really, really wanted to get to work on this overdress. So this is where I am on the bodice. This fabric is super fun because I don't have to worry about fraying. The only problem is that I kind of just have to trust that I'm sewing the correct place because you can't really see it all that well on the machine. But it's so cool. Things are progressing. Still have to hand sew a few things here. The dress is looking good. I just need to do some fiddly hand sewing on it today. And adding the sleeves. These sleeves were hard. When gathered, this fabric turns into a black hole of nothingness, and you just kind of have to hope that you're doing it. And guess what? You can't really unpick it because, like, once the thread gets woven in with the net, it just becomes part of the net. And so, Lord, you better do it right on the first time or else you're SOL. But I did it. They're sewn in. They're good. And so now I just have to hand sew the heck out of everything. And I'm gonna go watch some DuckTales. Woo! And so, yeah. Hey, look. The dress is complete. I did a small rolled hem at the top, but then at the bottom I just left it raw because I'm not really worried about fraying. And then at the side here I just added a little snap to keep the overdress closed. And yeah, I'm really happy with that. But even though the dress is done, we still have a few more things to do. I have this sparkly gold and black elastic that I'm going to use to make a belt. And then as the belt buckle, I have this little star brooch because I couldn't find any belt buckles that I actually really liked. And then of course we have to make the crown. For the belt, I ended up just wrapping the elastic around my waist with just a little bit of stretch in it. Mine ended up being 18 inches for my 26-inch waist. Then I'm just going to fold up the ends and secure them into place so that nothing unravels. Then connect one end of the brooch and then the other, and you have a belt. Now for the crown. So I bought this small headband. I'm just going to take off all the fabric around it first. There we go. Now that the headband is all naked, I'm going to take these skewers and cut them into different sizes to then hot glue onto this. Okay, so I ended up with five 4-inch skewers, 10 3¼ inch skewers, 10 2 3/4 inch skewers, and 6 2 1/4 inch skewers. Now I'm gonna hot glue them to this headband. Now there's a trick to hot gluing that some people don't know. It's called try not to burn your fingers to death. I know, that is a revolutionary concept, and I'm not too sure I've mastered it yet, but we're gonna try. Well, these stars look a little silly. Hold on, I'm gonna go order new stars. Good news, my stars came in. Let's finish this crown. I don't know why this was so hard for me. First I tried putting the hot glue straight on the stars, but I kept burning my fingers. Then I tried putting the glue on a skewer and then putting it on the star, but the glue would dry before I would actually get the star onto the crown itself. Then I finally figured it out. Duh! Put the glue on the crown and then stick the star where the glue dot is. I got these stars off of Etsy. I'll link the shop down below. These are the smallest stars that they have. It's a mixture of 3 different sizes. Why is it still 90 degrees outside? Doesn't Texas know that it's fall? Whew, it's hot. Wrap up on this dress. I love this dress. This is definitely going into the dresses I wear for, you know, all the special occasions I go to where I have to dress up in formal wear. I definitely like this dress better than the bell dress I made out of the same patterns. The only thing I would change is maybe the sleeves. I don't know. I go back and forth between whether I like the sleeves or not. In 2 weeks, I have a completely different themed video, which was lots of fun to shoot, and I hope you stick around for that one. I hope you consider subscribing and liking and commenting and all that jazz, and I will see you in the next video.